Behold, a cold open sketch. Joe, I gotta confess something. I'm feeling like I'm stuck in a rut. Just the same old stuff, you know?
Okay, you're gonna laugh, but you should do a deep dive on Pearl Jam.
Excuse me, Pearl Jam?
Like, I know it sounds silly, but Pearl Jam is actually really underrated.
Pearl Jam is like so famous. How could Pearl Jam be underrated?
Okay, this is why I said you were gonna laugh. Never mind.
No, I'm sorry. I'm being an asshole. I'm sorry. Pitch me, sell me on this.
Well, okay, most people, and I guess you're included, think of Pearl Jam as like some relic of the 90s.
That's a big yes.
And yeah, Pearl Jam was huge back then, obviously. That was like the peak.
Yeah, 10.
No, the 90s. But what most people don't realize is there's been new Pearl Jam coming out really consistently this entire time.
Huh. I mean, I can't say that I'm shocked, but I mean, yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, most people don't know, but almost all the releases have been really high quality stuff.
Really?
Yeah, and it's not like I'm even weird for this. Pearl Jam is still like solidly very popular. Tons of people are still fans.
Well, they can't be that popular. I mean, you said I was going to laugh at you recommending Pearl Jam.
Well, Pearl Jam isn't getting hyped up on like the radio anymore. Like there's not going to be Pearl Jam on late night TV or anything like that.
I mean, most people kind of know what they're getting with Pearl Jam.
Yeah, it's not new. They hype up the new stuff.
But it's like good, like legitimately, like not just for super fans.
I mean, I don't love Pearl Jam myself, but I checked out some new releases and it's really strong.
Wow.
It's like you get why this shit made such an impact when it was brand new.
I would have never guessed.
And like people still pack venues to see Pearl Jam in real life.
No shit.
Yeah, and videos of Pearl Jam live get millions of views regularly.
Like new videos or videos from the 90s?
New, dude. There's new Pearl Jam coming out all the time.
Wow. I gotta say, I didn't think you were gonna get me, but I'm convinced.
Hell yeah, man.
Looks like I'm getting into Pearl Jam. Is there a specific album I should check out first?
Album?
Yeah, like what record is the best one?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Pearl Jam.
Yeah, what are some of their songs that I should check out?
Oh my God. I think I get the issue. You're talking about the band.
Of course I am. What are you talking about?
Come.
Wow, what a bad sketch. And it's such poor taste, too. We recorded that Pearl Jam sketch like a full month ago, maybe.
I didn't write that, right? You wrote that.
I wrote that.
You wrote that. Okay, cool. It's
Did
good, but like I forgot, yeah. You know how many times it's been, who wrote this? You did. It's really good. Oh, okay.
Yeah, how many times has there been a fully completed sketch that you wrote all by yourself, though?
It comes out of my mouth.
Oh my God, I wrote it.
Comes out of my mouth.
Every once in a while, someone will try to tell you that shit about Pearl Jam, but not as a joke, that like, they're still good. Catch me fucking listening to Pearl Jam in 2026. It simply cannot occur. That is a no judgment statement. It is just the facts. It won't happen. Welcome to Anime Sickos. It's the podcast for geniuses and the only podcast where we take a look at the four pillars of modern misery: anime, gaming, posting, and jobs. I am Tom, an anime sicko.
I am Joe, an anime sicko.
We do many things in Anime Sickos, one of which is record sketches and then forget to put them in episodes for a very long time.
Which makes them more tasteful when they do happen.
Yeah.
They age better.
They, dry aged. Wonderful. But another thing that we do increasingly often is just be a food podcast. Food advice, really. That's our main thing. Fuck anime.
Well, yes, that. I think the secondary thing here is that it's a food podcast about having no money.
Yes. Well, I mean, that more and more, you'll find that being about having no money is a topic you can't avoid. It just keeps popping up in more and more places.
So what we're saying is, if you're not shopping at Aldi, you better get used to it, buddy. You're not better than that.
If you're not shopping at Aldi, you're essentially doing self-harm. And if you know any mandatory reporters, they should be calling whatever government.
So people will be like, oh, Aldi's kind of like, it's sometimes kind of dirty because it's like high traffic all the time. And it's like, well, every time they have to clean it up, that makes the bananas cost more. So they don't do that. Shut up.
They have one guy who sits on a chair at the checkout. And if they were to hire a cleaning person, you're going to pay for that when you buy your Aldi milk.
Also, Aldi, and I guess Trader Joe's to an extent, but with Aldi, it's very clear that like we are cattle meant to be processed. Like we should be shepherded around in very specific ways in the grocery store. We should not have agency.
Mm-hmm. Joe, I speak from a place of ignorance here because I've been in a Trader Joe's maybe 3 times in my life, because no matter where I move, it's always like really annoyingly far from the nearest Trader Joe's, both in terms of time and just the annoyingness of the route. You understand this, that there can be 2 routes that take the exact same time and one of them's more annoying?
Yeah. That is going from uptown to anywhere.
Yeah. So I haven't been in Trader Joe's very much, but from my experience, Trader Joe's is like, it feels to me like the entire concept of that store is like about to come crashing down. Like, buddy, like the treat era of America is over. We're gonna need to buckle down and buy ourselves some dry goods, fucker, because like it's all prepared frozen food in bags.
So my counterpoint to that, as far as it comes crashing down, they are just Aldi, but they have like fun shoulders branding. You know what I mean? Like when the mom from Bob's Burgers does fun shoulders, like woo, like that's what fun shoulders branding is. And that's not super related to inputs. I think like literally the Trader Joe's thing is you're getting like Aldi stuff that's dressed up with tropical theming and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't know. I just maybe I don't spend enough time in the Aldi frozen section, but I don't recall there being quite as many like complete frozen dinners in a bag to the point where it is half the store. Also, frozen food, that shit is so salty. You're going to kill yourself. Stop going there.
They have really good frozen Indian food. If you want frozen microwavable cheap Indian food, I'd probably go for Trader Joe's, but I've never had them conveniently in my life. Whatever, it's fine. But we're not here for Trader Joe's, which is like put together. Aldi, dude, Aldi's all about results. Trader Joe's is about appearances. It's about networking.
Yeah.
It's about doing really good status updates, about being a member of the community.
It's about posting about how the checkout person complimented you. You want to fuck the checkout people. That's like the side quest of everyone who goes into Trader Joe's. It's like, what if I could fuck the checkout person?
Yeah, and everybody looks kind of good because they are wearing like the Jimmy Buffett stuff.
Yeah,
right?
if you go to Aldi, the checkout person is like,
they hate you, which is good. They should.
I'm so angry. If anyone tried to fuck me, you know what I do? I'd kill them with my gun, and they'd pull a gun out, and you'd be right to just stand there and take it.
Yes, Aldi is about results. It's about the only place where it feels like the food inflation is like just like delayed. It's still gonna happen, but it's just like we can go to Aldi and experience it 6 months ago. Hell yeah.
Yeah. We used to not be able to go to Jewel because it was too expensive. Now Aldi is old Jewel, but new Jewel, don't even get me started.
So the thing Tom and I wanted to discuss here, that specifically, which is generally speaking, the stupid off-brand equivalent of whatever at Aldi, I would say at baseline is as good, if not better, than like whatever the thing they're imitating. Generally,
a lot of foods especially your dry goods, your ingredients, shall we say, as opposed to I don't know, a full complete meal frozen in a bag. A lot of like ingredient type foods, you kind of feel like that's a solved process, like unless you're like a master baker, uh the brand of your flour is kind of it's fungible. It doesn't matter. It's flour. Like if I need a bag of sugar, am I going to go to Jewel and get a bag of Domino sugar? Am I going to go to fucking Aldi and get Aldi sugar? It's the same. Am I going to pay top dollar for General Mills cereal? Why would I do that when I could simply have Millville? Probably exactly the same.
It probably came out of the same place and they just put it in a different box at the end.
And for a lot of these assumptions one might make, you're totally right. And you're going to have a great time going to Aldi. But as much as we've spoken about all these greatness in the past, today we're going to talk about those places where Aldi falls short, because we do not want you to go down to Aldi, buying these products and thinking I have been I'm eating poverty food. I can taste the cheapness in this product. Unfortunately, those products do exist in Aldi. We are here to warn you away from them.
So top line, if you only take one thing away from us, like if you're listening to this podcast while you're driving, and then you are killed in a car accident, when you get to heaven, you need to tell the guy at the gates the following information. The Cheerios equivalent from Millville are dog shit, dude. They're straight dog shit.
Joe told me this, and I thought to myself, that can't possibly be true. Because again, Cheerios strike me as a solved food. It's like saying that like their Rice Krispies are bad. It's like, I'm sorry, they put rice in the poofing machine and turn it on. Like that's it. Like that's, how could it be bad? Like a bad Cheerio. But
these Cheerios came from a different location than the Cheerios. I am confident of this.
How would you describe the taste of a Cheerio classic, Joe? In case someone hasn't had a Cheerio lately, I'll say, the situation will probably be they don't have a child. If you have a kid, you've had Cheerios in the past month, I guarantee it. But what if someone is not up to date on that Cheerio flavor? How would you describe it?
Inoffensive, light, very light, such that like I like them dry, and it's just like you could have a handful of Cheerios, not unlike a toddler can, such that it's not like gonna weigh you down. It's light. It's fine. I've never had my day like go off course because of Cheerio intake. Do you understand?
Yes, they are. I think this is kind of why this description is why most people would think that a Cheerio is a solved product. It does not have a very strong flavor. It does not have a very bold or unique flavor. It's just like, yes, that is oats in a ring. Wonderful. How can it be fucked up?
How would I describe this? Cheerios is just like not to say a Miller Lite is good, but imagine Cheerios is Miller Lite, and then the toasted O from Millville is like those beers that's just bread. It's just like bread. It's heavy bread.
It's dark,
which you might think is, yes, it's so dark. The O's are darker, because they have dark matter. They're twice as heavy.
They're the Shadow the Hedgehog of O's. You have that written down right here. They have too many ears.
Texturally, they're different enough in a way that is upsetting.
I was recently at your home, and I noticed that you had a box of Aldi brand Millville O's, and you had told me that the Aldi O's were bullshit, terrible, and again, I had that same thought that I was just describing, which is just like, how can that be? I didn't know there were two ways to make a Cheerio. I thought like the recipe is just like, well, there's only one way to get this product in the end, and do that, and you've done the recipe. It's so hard to put into words what's wrong
It's
because
just there's more gravity. It's like the sane planet of Cheerios. Everything about it's heavier. It's just harder. It's heavier in a way that should make sense. It's like House of Leaves weight. I don't
yes,
get it.
dude, yes, because like I wouldn't have thought I was a big fan of Cheerios if you had asked me before I had the Millville O. I would be like, Cheerios is a kid's. It's like kid chow, you know. No person would eat it.
Yeah, you put the feed bag on them. You drop them in the enclosure.
But after having a Millville O, I'm like, Cheerios are such a culinary marvel. What an achievement to pull off. Such a delicate and pleasant O experience because it has, and I don't mean this in a flavor way, it tastes like food, yeah, but the process of having it in your mouth and having it like suck up your mouth moisture and chewing it and feeling the chew in your mouth, it's so packing peanut coated in a way that
It's not 100% packing peanuts. It's just like 30%. It's filler.
I would never think about packing peanuts. It wouldn't enter my mind when I had a Cheerio. It entered my mind right away when I had a Millville O.
There's also no like shitty off-brand mascot on this one because they are trying to emulate the dignity of Cheerios. There isn't like a squirrel with eyes that are fucked.
Mm-hmm. There are.
And that's also just an issue.
There are mascots on like the fruit O's. There isn't one on the Honey Nut Cheerio knockoff. There's no bee.
What else could it be other than, I guess, a bear?
A nut.
A nut.
Pearl Jam. Yeah, put Pearl Jam on there. Yeah, the Millville O's are no good. And it's so confusing because all the other, I mean, I haven't had every single one, but the other Millville cereals are all exactly as you'd expect, which is to say
the breakfast
like,
bars too,
yeah.
your Nutri-Grains and what have you, is all pretty solid. I mean, they also make them in the back there. You know how when you're at Aldi, people are coming out of the swinging doors with carts? That's because they're back there making the bars and the Cheerios, right?
Yeah. They're sticking them together with the glue.
Yeah.
I do have to say this very briefly, just because this is much like how I had to talk about Dragon Quest Builders 2. This is one of my wife's bugaboos, and she is not a public-facing person online, so she can't say this herself. I have to be the one who says it for her. It used to be that Aldi, in addition to having frosted mini wheats that were normal and frosted mini wheats that had blueberry flavored frosting, mini wheats, of course, being a stealth heavyweight cereal. They really punch above their weight. They're on a higher tier than you'd expect. They used to have mini wheats with no frosting on them whatsoever. Now, you may think, why would they have that useless product on the shelf when you could buy the frosted one? Well, my wife, though she be a beautiful genius, wise in almost all things, has some flaws, as we all do as humans. And one of her flaws is she prefers non-sweet breakfasts, and she loves nude mini wheats for whatever reason. They got rid of them. No Aldi carries the nude mini wheats anymore, and it causes her a great amount of pain and sadness. So Aldi, if you're hearing this, improve your O's and bring back the nude wheats.
This next one Tom brought into my worldview is like, oh, I did know this, but I had filed it away.
Yeah. So a lot of the Aldi chips have a great brand, Clancy's, and in college we were playing a lot of Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas 2 and Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, so we would call them Clancy's Tactical Chips. Aldi has an incredible array of tactical chips. The tactical kettle chips are amazing. The Cheetos,
those are the best they only do like the mixed bag, so it's like a bunch of flavors in one. The Clancy's kettle chips that have just the original, those are the best original chips on the fucking planet.
Okay, this is pure dad brain talking because I don't even see the box of little bags when you were talking about that, halfway through, I was still going like, Joe is talking in another fucking language. What are you saying? You can get a big bag that's just one flavor of chip, normal size. But if you have a little kid, you're going to need to buy the box of little bags.
Well, and also, it's obviously more wasteful, but the little bags give you a clear UI of how much chip you have left. A big bag, you can't eyeball like that, Tom.
I pour the chips that I'm going to eat into a bowl.
Well, if you're going to cheat, that's fine.
Okay. Anyway, the Cheetos, speaking of cheating, the Cheetos, the Clancy's Cheetos, both puffs and the little squizzles, identical to name brand. Even the cheddar and jalapeno flavor that Cheetos introduced a little while ago, which is like low-key their best flavor, the Clancy's version, indistinguishable, beautiful, perfect. So you will go into the Clancy's tactical chip section thinking, I can't miss. Much the same way you go into the Millville section, you get all these cereals, you go, I can't miss. I'm going to buy any one of these, confident that I'm going to get a name brand experience. Clancy's Doritos are fucking dog shit. They are not bad compared to Doritos. They are some of the worst food you'll ever have.
Like their dog food crisps.
They really are. So okay.
I have a theory why they're bad, but I want to say what you're about to say.
Okay. Put a pin in your theory. We'll see if what I'm about to say flows into it. Think about a Dorito. What is good about a Dorito? A Dorito is a really light, there's that word again, really light, crispy tortilla chip that has a wonderful coating of flavor dust. Now, again, this seems so easy to fucking get right, you know? How do you fuck up? Everybody knows how to make a light, crispy tortilla chip. It's thin, you know, it's not one of those like good tortilla chips like El Milagro where it's like thick, you know, where you can like dip it into guacamole and it's not going to break and you really crunch it. You got to crunch it big time to eat it. No, it's like little, it's thin, it's crunchy, it's beautiful. And then, you know, you just get some of those tortilla chips like that. You ask the Dorito company, like, yo, leave the machine on for another hour and give me the nude tortilla chips. Then you just make some fucking powder. You know, you get some cheese powder, you get some salt, you get some MSG, maybe it's some tomato powder. You don't have to get it exactly right. I don't care about if it's exactly right. I just want it to be a bold flavor experience. I don't know what they did, but these tortilla chips that they use feel as though you have like taken raw rolled oats, like from a can of oatmeal, and just like taped them together into a triangle shape.
This is the bake-off term that I only really get to hear in bake-off terms, which is stodgy, right? Stodgy?
Yes. Incredible pull to bring the word stodgy up, because again, to me, that is a bake-off word, a world where Doritos do not go, but it is so true. The experience of chewing one of these Doritos is just like inherently bad. It's just like, stodgy.
So here's my theory for why the Doritos are so bad. Everything you're saying about the texture of the chip itself is true. It sucks. The reason I think it actually sucks in terms of production is that Doritos is not willing to share the science behind their dust. And I believe that Aldi lacks the industrial capacity to spin up their own equivalent. Like for some of their other products, like, oh, we're just going to push in these other constituent parts into a bar and resell it. But they don't have like the actual turbines required to generate the needed dust. And at that point, why bother getting a real chip anyway?
Oh my God. Because, okay, that's an interesting thought. Because I was about to say, Joe, were you even listening? The dust isn't the problem. But you're saying that because they know they can't touch the dust, they're like,
it's a producer's. It was all supposed to suck, dude.
Oh my, it's a producer's experience. But why are all the other Clancy tactical chips so delicious? You are, for whatever reason, into getting the crazy flavors of the Clancy's tactical kettle chips. You got a Cubano flavored.
It was a Cuban sandwich chip flavor. Yeah, we got this for the March Madness game. What Cuban sandwich means in like Brazil terms is pickle. It just means pickle.
Pickle, and I think maybe there's a little bit of mustard powder in there. I was really afraid because to me, one of the key elements of a Cubano is pork. And I'm just like, now, what would pork flavor on a chip be? Well, first and foremost, it would be that when you open the bag, a fucking stink like you never imagined is going to come out. Luckily, they completely sidestepped that shit.
See, Cuban sandwich is just an interesting flavor because it's like, well, I want to be able to taste the crust and I want to be able to taste the soft part of the bread. It's just like a lot to get into just a chip flavor, but they did it because it's all pickles.
Yeah, pickles.
The other one I got, which you had not had, we got it I think the week after. Clancy's Nashville hot chicken chips, which are fine, but what they are again in absolute terms is like baseline barbecue chip powder plus an additional blasting of paprika.
Sounds wonderful, actually.
They're absolutely fine. Is that what Nashville hot chicken is?
Not
I don't
even
know.
a little. But again, that's smart. That's smart flavor science because all of these crazy chips that are flavored after like meat based dishes, I'm so scared of because I'm just like, what would it mean to put meat flavor powder on
They
chips?
put a whole pig in the duster.
It's nasty. It's just the stink of it is going to put me off both the chips and meat in general. So I'm glad that Aldi is like, you imagine the meat, it's no meat in here. We're not crazy. Clancy's Tactical Chips is making tactical decisions, which includes don't put nasty meat in the bag. But also that fucking Clancy Doritos, I cannot emphasize enough. I think, honestly, if you haven't had them, I might even recommend you buy one bag for educational purposes only. Write it off your taxes as like a business expense. Whatever you
they
do
taste so much and have a mouthfeel of just like this is a healthier version of another chip, but there is no like real version of the chip.
Yes. Okay. So there was when I grew up in the 90s. They even talk about it on Seinfeld. I know that because I watched Seinfeld when I'm on my exercise bike on my Plex server. I watched that show. They were talking about in Seinfeld the blue corn chips. This used to be a big thing. It was fancy, high-end corn chips, tortilla chips, I should say. Made of blue corn. They were healthier for you because the corn was funny. I don't understand why, but I had them in my house from time to time as a child, as most do. And they sort of felt like a healthier chip because it had a more natural chew, shall we say. The sort of Tostitos corn chips, the tortilla chips, they have that sort of Doritos texture where it's
they came out of a machine.
Yes, it came out of a machine. It's very homogeneous. There's a light, crisp crunch, but it turns to mush very fast. You don't have to chew it very much. It's there and then it's gone. And it was very salty. Ooh, time for another. There's no friction. Whereas these blue corn chips, they had some sort of heft to them. There was like fiber and you had to chew them a bit. And they didn't have that like instant, effortless, crispy crunch that these machine pressed Tostitos Doritos do. It feels like they got leftover blue corn chips and Dorito-fied them, which fucks up both ends. Because the Dorito dust, it takes you to, like, I'm having a fucking snack that's going to send me to hell. And for that, you do not want anything that reminds you of health because it just will, it locks the whole thing up.
Even if the dust was, like, somehow vitamins, dust reads as junk. It doesn't matter like how healthy the chip is. It will you feel like you were a dirty piggy.
Yeah. It's not good. These Doritos are simply dog shit. You can never get them. Luckily, Aldi, at least the Aldi's near me for a while now. Because that's the other thing about Aldi is that Aldi will just buy overstock from other grocery stores. They've had name brand Doritos right next to the Clancy's Tactical Chips, like very consistently for a while now. So if you see that, you out of your mind if you buy that dog shit Clancy's Dorito.
Let's take a moment to talk about the overstock / roguelike aisle.
Yes, I love it.
I believe it's always aisle 5. I don't know if that's the case for all these, but basically in the middle of the store, there is a aisle where there's seasonal stuff, but also it is truly randomly generated from a data spreadsheet somewhere. It is wild. Like the other time last week, we were in there and I was able to get, usually we'd have to go to another location for this, but I was able to get like a cauldron and half of a 2006 Buick LaCrosse. It's crazy what's in there.
I love the roguelike aisle. It's very funny. It is very rare that you see anything worth getting. It's a lot of dog shit junk. It's a lot of plastic crap that they have thrown. The Crofton brand name. Crofton is the Aldi brand for like home goods.
Lodge, right? Oh, no.
Lodge is the name brand cast iron brand. If you see a Lodge cast iron for sale at Aldi, consider buying it. It's probably a good deal. No, Croft, but every once in a while, the roguelike aisle, like a real roguelike, has like a high roll item. For example, there was for sale once a Crofton brand bench scraper. If you don't know what this item is, it is a metal slab that you hold in your hand with a comfortable handle, and you use the straight edge on the other side of the metal slab to run across your cutting board and or counter, and then you will push the shit you are scraping around into your waiting hand, and
oh
now
my God.
you have a clean counter.
I was using my other hand like a fucking jabroni.
Dude, this Crofton brand Aldi bench scraper that I got for probably under $5 from the roguelike aisle is one of the most high impact kitchen items I have, eclipsing by fucking far the KitchenAid stand mixer, which cost hundreds of times its price.
So here's my mechanics question. How often do they restock? If we, like, do we have to go to a new zone before the shopkeeper changes the things? I understand that, but like, is that a week?
I feel like it's impossible to say. I mean, you'd have to talk to someone who works at Aldi. I think you're making a mistake thinking that there is a schedule and or order to the roguelike aisle. The roguelike aisle is a chaos zone. Although one thing that you can pretty reliably count on and in the chaos aisle is imported German food products from Germany, because Aldi's a German company. So if you find German food interesting or at all desirable, you can find some like really good products from Germany. Like there's not a lot of imports at Aldi. However, every once in a while, there's like, oh my God, like, wow, look at this. So yeah, German food.
The other big Aldi tip, and Tom gave me this many, many years ago. Honestly, when we first became friends, but I will state it again and again and again forever because it's like a life hack. And also I have a little addition to make it even better, which is all of like the prosciuttos, the like cured meats at Aldi, they're like very inexpensive and they are so good. Just if you eat those, get those. If you want to feel fancy for not a lot of money, like get those. And the thing I will add to this, I just started doing this in general. I've had charcuterie plenty of times, but I've never wrapped prosciutto or a meat like that in a pitted date, which are very inexpensive. They last for a while. They're good for digestion, fiber. That's killer.
Yo, that's pretty good.
That's good.
Pretty good.
That's good.
Hell yeah.
You can't be sad if you're eating something wrapped around a date because that's what successful people do. That's what CEOs do. I can't think of a third type of. That's what Michael Jordan does.
Yeah, that's what the guys in Pearl Jam do. It's what excites them to climax. However, as true as that all is, another thing you got to look out for at Aldi. Don't buy this. and this actually is not just an Aldi thing. This goes for all stores, and it's a lesson I've had to learn so many times, and I think it's finally stuck because I thought the Aldi version was going to be the thing that broke the trend, and it wasn't. And if Aldi can't do it, nobody can. So a little bit of background: I've been baking bread. I have a sourdough starter that is very robust and easy to work with, and I'm very proud of it. And eventually, a while ago, I made bialys, the fake bagels that don't have a hole, because they're easier to make than bagels, more forgiving. And eventually, I was like, okay, I know I'm making bialys because I want to make bagels. I'm going to finally pull the trigger and make bagels. I haven't made the perfect bagel yet, but I'm pretty good. I'm really happy about making my bagels. And when I make bagels, I have a bunch, and I freeze them in the freezer so I can pop one in the toaster anytime. It defrosts, and it's perfect, ready to eat. And so what do you put on bagels? You put cream cheese, obviously. I thought that cream cheese was a solved product. Again, I've had this fucking mistake made many times. And I'm like, now I could pay extra money and buy the Philadelphia cream cheese, the name brand. But why would I do that? When cream cheese is just cream and cheese and salt, how hard can that be? I'll get the store brand cream cheese. I don't know what all these stores are doing, including Aldi, but non-Philadelphia cream cheese tastes like plain milk across the board. It tastes like you dipped your bagel in
chunked milk. Can you please chunk this milk for me? Like, whatever's making it taste good, the Philadelphia cream cheese, I mean, it's probably not good. Like, it's probably just like sugar or something, but still, I need it.
I mean, and cream cheese is transparently one of the least healthy foods you could possibly have. You just look at it and it's like that brick, like
that came from a fat elemental. It's so neat.
It's like if you were to like lift the skin off a big fat belly, it would look like bricks of Philadelphia cream cheese. And it's just like, yeah, I don't mind if my pants don't fit or they're a little bit tighter. I want to have that cream cheese. I don't know what they're doing. You'd think that obviously the differences between these cream cheese brands is going to be very minor, but like it's like an on-off switch. Yeah, like the name brand Philadelphia cream cheese tastes so good and it makes the bagel go nuts. The store brand cream cheese, again, tastes like you've dipped your bagel in a glass of milk. Why would I do that? I wouldn't, is why. Okay, and the last thing you should not buy, because they made me really sad. The knockoff Grillo's pickles in the plastic tub. I'm having a lot of trouble, Joe, with my pickles lately. I'm in a pickle.
Bunch of pickles. I'm looking at the notes, and what I'm looking at this preview here, and I am seeing not so much a flavor concern, but like a structural issue.
Structural issue. It's pure terms of logistics. That's the problem. But in addition to this, I'm a Grillo's guy. I'm deep in the tank for Grillo's. If you've not had Grillo's, imagine a pickle that was way better. The pickles you get, like the Velasics and the Mount Olives, they're kind of soggy, and the pickle brine kind of is simple. It doesn't have a lot of complexity to it. It's pretty sweet. It kind of tastes like just a sweet vinegar. And as a result, the pickles aren't that complex and flavorful. Grillo's, oh my god, I love Grillo's. There's so much yummier brine, and the pickles are crisp and crunchy in a way that the Velasics and Mount Olives are not. Fucking Costco has fallen, dude. Like, the West is gone. They don't have Grillo's at Costco anymore. I am absolutely fucking bereft, because that was the place to get, because Grillo's is more expensive. You're paying the premium for the flavor. And so Costco is the only place you can get them where the per ounce price is even close.
Yeah, it's the only mitigation available.
Yeah. And also they sell them in big Costco buckets. So you buy one thing at Grillo's, you take the hit in terms of cost, but whatever. By the time I'm done, I forgot that I even spent that money because it's been so long.
And then when you bring the bucket back, they top you off again, right?
Yeah, I wish. Not anymore. Not anymore. They don't do it. I don't know what Grillo's did to upset Costco guys, Not the two red men, one of whom's a child.
So the Rizzler is the little one, and he's their slave? Like, what is this?
Yeah, I think... No, the Rizzler is a separate annoying child. The Costco guy... I mean, the Costco kid might have Riz. He probably does. I mean, you know about him. He's famous. Anyway, the pickles, the knockoff Grillos at Aldi, I thought were my solution. Now, obviously, they have knockoff Vlasics and knockoff Mount Olives in the jar, but these knockoff Grillos, they're like, oh, it's branding is like, this is like a homemade pickle. This is like handmade gourmet. I'm like, that's a Grillo. You're talking about Grillos, brother. And it comes in a big plastic tub instead of a glass jar. And I'm like, yo, you know what else does that is Grillos. I can tell right away that this is Grillos. I go home, I make a sandwich, I open up my knockoff Aldi Grillos. Dude, they're about 3 times too thick. These pickle chips are about as thick as the bread. It is insane that they think this is ready for fucking prime time, that they're selling this to human beings. It throws the sandwich out of whack in a irreparable way.
This is the type of stuff I would complain to Winnie about and say I was going to write my alderman about it.
I mean, I bet I should. My alderperson is like, they get stuff done. There's a alderperson of Humboldt Park. And if you've been to Humboldt Park in the last like 2 years, not the last year, you will be like, oh, it's a great place. But there's so many fucking people living in tents on the park. And to their defense, if I was a houseless person in Chicago and I had a tent, there's no fucking better place to put it than Humboldt Park. You'd be a fool to put it anywhere else. But they were like, it is going to be my mission to get all the unhoused people in Humboldt Park into housing. And I said to myself, good luck, motherfucker. They did it. There's no tents anymore. Wow. So maybe if I talk to them about this Grillos shit at Aldi, they can get some done.
Usually when people say we're going to get the homeless people away, they mean mulch them.
Yeah.
Like you get the Gavin Newsom, like you see him on TV physically removing a guy's stuff from a tent. But this is I don't know, was that an example of the housing first thing or just like an example of the principle, which is these people need a place to go. Like, you know how they're here and like people don't want them here. But in order to get, they would need a second location. So let's work on the second one.
Yeah. I don't know exactly the strategy behind it, but I do know that like there was a Block Club article when the process was ongoing, but not yet finished, about like a guy and his girlfriend who lived in a tent in Humboldt Park who were just like, I don't know if I want the housing because it's gonna make going to work annoying. Like not even like hard, but just like annoying. And you're like, me and my girlfriend, we gotta like living in the tent, and they're like, what can we do to make you go into this fucking housing we have?
I feel like it's intentionally found like someone to be infuriating for the quotes, like not like, yeah.
It's not hard to find an infuriating person in any group large enough, like of a certain size. You're gonna find someone insane. See, for example, any news fucking item that involves surveying the median American voter. You're gonna find an insane person. And that's neither here nor there. The main thing is the pickles. Don't get the Aldi Grillo pickles. Get Grillos somewhere else. Eat the cost. That's something that, like, as things get worse, as the slow-moving food shortage catastrophes from the Strait of Hormuz being blocked finally hit us in waves, as the petrodollar loses its value and the U.S. becomes a failed state and we have to buy everything in Zimbabwe dollars. As you make your sacrifices that you must make to survive, hold on to the Grillos. Like, don't buckle on your pickle experience. Pickles are important, and you can't just allow yourself to suffer and have bad pickles. Don't do it.
We're the anime Sickos, and we're here to say anime is bad in a war crimes way.
We didn't have an hour of that Aldi shit. And what if we did? You would have hated it. Too long. Ended it right at the right time.
And in such poor taste. And in such poor taste. It's because he's walking forward as he says it that makes it so perfect. Everything about that little clip is just, oh boy, I love it.
It's so, I mean, it's the kids in the hall, so all of them are incredible performers and actors. And it's so funny because in the sketch that had just happened, he was being so sort of like stiff and stock. He was just like, he was being so broad and unsubtle. And then he switches so effortlessly into this like just conversational, like I'm talking to you. And it's so real. And it's just like, whoa.
The tasteless sketch, to be clear, that they just stopped was that a boyfriend was picking up his date from her parents, but she was dead and in an urn.
Yeah, he's like, sorry, I'm 2 years late. And it's like, yeah, well, Karen's dead.
Yes.
And then, and of course, once he, says like, I want to take her out anyway, and they hand him the urn and say like, have a good time. And they're like, oh, just in case, be safe. And they hand him an unrolled condom.
Yes.
And also the reason he was late is because he was brought there by a rickshaw, which they cut to the rickshaw driver, who is Bruce McCullough in a extremely offensive Chinese man outfit. And I will not repeat what he says, but he says the most offensive shit on earth.
You know!
He says, spoken correctly, not my fault. I stubbed my toe. You can imagine how he changes the pronunciation. And then after all that, you realize only 4 of the 5 kids in the Kids in the Hall have been on screen. Kevin McDonald isn't in this sketch. And so they cut to him in a high chair. He is a baby wearing a diaper, and he has what looks to be a big bowl
of milk. He's a bowl of milk. He's splashing a bowl of milk with a spoon going, wah, wah, like literally not, like it is a phoned in crime. Like it is so funny. It is, everything about it sucks. You hate seeing it. And it's at that point where you realize that these guys have the juice.
What a bad sketch. We're ranking game mechanics again. Do you remember when we did that? It was one of those things where we're like, this will always be on hand to fill out an episode if we don't have a full episode.
And now I had to be like, we need to do it. Because I like this. This was my idea. And I like, sometimes I will just have this yearning to talk about like, oh, it's really cool when Dracula shoots 3 fireballs on an angle.
Yeah. So let's do it. I'm going to roll a big die because we have 360 items on the list. And I want to see which one we get. I've rolled a 62. The game mechanic we rank first is being able to pet the dog. Oh, I'm being thrown back in time to 2015. I'm looking at Twitter. Oh, there's the viral "Can you pet the dog" meme account. Oh my God. Being able to pet the dog. What do we think?
Yes, it's fine. I at this point, if you have a dog in it and you are knowingly not doing that, you are doing it knowingly. Just do it.
I think that this is big time overrated. And I will admit that I'm not looking at this as an objective way, but we do not live in an objective world. There's context for all things. And that fucking meme account really made it lame. Like, if there was never that "Can you pet the dog" Twitter account, being able to pet the dog would be at least to me, because it's so like, oh, how fun. They didn't have to do that. Now, when I see it, it stinks so much of like, we had to do what the viral account said. You know, it feels like a marketing best practice. And it's so disgusting that someone at work had to spend like a lot of time, because it's like hard to do like characters touching things. Yeah.
Anything.
Hard to do anything. And they had to do a lot of work to appease this stupid fucking gimmick account. And a gimmick account that, I mean, at the time, their hands were tied, but they must have known that, like, give this 2 years and everyone's going to be so fucking sick of this gimmick account. And no one will care about it enough to respect it enough to have to do what it says. But, like, at the moment, they're stuck. That's where I'm at.
I think I have the normal amount of affection for a video game dog. I think the worst I've ever felt with regard to a dog in a video game is in Harvest Moon 64, because like it's like the end of year 2, I was carrying like a turnip or something that I harvested, and I was carrying it to the bin, and I pressed the wrong button by the dog house, and then it caused the turnip to turn into dog food. So this is me realizing that I could have fed the dog for 2 years.
Oh shit!
I didn't know that was in the game.
That's a very different takeaway than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, what an interesting. Oh, that's why he lost the dog race.
You starving him, poking him, singing off key.
I thought he was running perfectly clean. I see, whatever. I just, it can get used up. I get it.
I will say this, Joe. As much as I'm down on being able to pet the dog, because if it's stink as a 2010s meme account, fucking millennial whimsy type bullshit. It's like the phrase, like being able to pet the hecking doggo is the same as the phrase dumpster fire to me. Say that shit to me and find yourself the object of contempt. I will say, though, that the way they did it in Breath of the Wild, where what you do is if you have Link crouch next to a dog and de-equip a weapon from his hand, so he has no weapon, and then press the use weapon button, what he will do is he will move his arm as though to swing a weapon, and then as he's moving it, realize there's nothing in there, and put his arm back down. Now, if you are next to a doggy and crouching, and you do that over and over, it will look as though you are petting the dog, because you're going to be waving your hand right over the dog's body. It is not a bespoke animation for petting the dog. There's not a little context tooltip that says press A to pet the dog. But if you do it enough times, the dog will have a I'm happy animation go around his face because it knows that that's petting. That's good.
I like it. So the clunky, imperfect animation is intentional, and I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like in Hades, you can pet Cerberus, and that was so obviously, like that game is Tumblr to the max. I say this with love. I love Hades, but it is so fucking Tumblrized. And you can pet heckin' Cerberus is so inspired by this stupid account. And it's not fun to do, because what it means is you go up to Cerberus and a little context sensitive prompt comes up and a long animation plays that I don't want to watch. And it's like, that sucked. It's way less fun than petting the dog in the clunky way in Zelda.
To me, petting the dog in a game, in order to be like an A, would have to be like a Monster Hunter situation where it's like something I do at the base as I'm running around.
Yeah.
It's just like on my way out, I'm like, here you go. And then maybe the dog gives me, with the power of its affection, a slight buff.
Yeah. Something like petting the dog, essentially the same as like using a whetstone. It's like I have to find time to do this in order to be max efficiency.
Yeah. I would like it more in that context. But in general, it doesn't do much for me one way or the other. I would put my distaste towards it not off from where Tom is saying with like the meme speak of 2015. I would say I have less disgust, but I'm definitely on track.
I'm going to say C is fair, because it's not like bad, but...
No, we agreed that C was just like, it's in the game and it doesn't do anything one way or the other, which I think we're at.
Yeah, I think D is the cutoff for it makes the game worse to be in there. And I don't think it's there. I disdain it and think it is overrated, but overrated doesn't mean bad. It means that there are some hecking doggo millennials who would put this in S, and that is insane. Next up, number 243 on the list. This is going to be, oh boy, cooldowns. What do you think of cooldowns?
In many ways, they run my life. A dumb thing I will say to myself which is like he could do stuff off the global cooldown. Is like I will refuse. I'll refer to that to myself as like someone who's moving so fast. He's like he doesn't even use the global cooldown.
Keep in mind, we are not global cooldowns is a different mechanic on the list.
I'm aware. I'm just talking about the active cooldowns.
I think we gotta focus on, because it's easy to forget this, especially people who are as deep in the sauce as we are. I want to take a moment to acknowledge that cooldown is the best fucking term for what this is, because your move was too hot. It makes your move cool. It makes your move more badass.
You shot a big gun and now the barrel's shooting smoke out.
Yes. It's one thing to be like, it's the time before you can use your ability again. That's just lame. That feels like a shackles that are being put on me for no reason. But it's like, brother, your ability was just too damn good. It's hot as hell. You can't touch it no more. And it's like, that's damn right. It is hot as hell. That's so real. Like, I'm not mad anymore.
No, I would put this at B, because like here's the thing with cooldowns. Any game, basically every game, action roguelike is going to have cooldowns, something like it. The move now, I believe, and I like this in general, is like, you have like a resource like casting a spell cost mana.
Yeah.
Why don't you just put that spell on the cooldown and not worry about the mana cost? And just have the fucking thing be on the cooldown itself, and that's the sort of like element.
That's very smart. That's very smart. And we've talked about how MP is often suck ass and unfun and just introduces annoying limits that are artificial. Just put that shit on a cooldown. You put MP there because like, it's magic is too strong to use too much. And like, well, what if you can't use it too much because of cooldowns? Smart.
Cooldowns are at least a B tier. This is sort of like a what is water type mechanic, in the sense that like it is so ingrained into everything that it seems hard to look at.
I like cooldowns because they make games into what they do, especially in a game that is so based around cooldowns, that like where the cooldowns are sort of the main part. Where being good at the game means you minimize the time that the fucking abilities are usable. You use them instantly.
Yes.
It turns the game into a rhythm game. I know everyone says Sekiro is a rhythm game.
Thank you.
Yes, it's true. That's why I love it. Rhythm games own.
Yes. You are saying what I was trying to find the words for, which is less so than a rhythm game. The way it becomes for me is just like, okay, this is now a game about utilization rate. It's just like, okay, the debuff must be up almost 100% of the time. This should be up. That is what cooldowns actually end up being. You just make an order of operations for gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And then it, of course, has the sort of mental fidget, just even when you're not playing the game and you're like, oh, if I did that in a different order, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I guess I could try that.
Oh, also important to note is that cooldowns can exist in states other than just the standard like timer until you can use the thing again. A lot of players of Slay, I'm playing Slay the Spire 2 a lot, so I got this on the brain. Can you believe it? A lot of new players of Slay the Spire devalue small deck size and also card draw, because they're like, well, card draw costs energy, and so I'll have less energy to spend on what I draw, so why don't I just use my energy in the cards I do have? And also,
counterpoint, you're removing random in the random game.
Yes, that's part of it.
And also way better.
And like, why would I have a small deck when I'm adding good cards to the deck? I want a big deck full of good cards. Every time you cycle the deck, every time you get a card back, that's the cooldown wearing off. So if you have a great card and you play it once and like either you win the battle or die before it comes up again, that's because that ability you love didn't come off cooldown. When you have a small deck and can cycle the deck frequently, and or if you have a lot of card draw, what you are doing is you are cutting the cooldown on your best abilities in half or more. Cooldowns, they're very good. I think maybe A, although is that too much? Because there's obviously games where cooldowns don't go. They don't fit.
No, A is not too high. I do A or B. I'd be leaning towards A. The games where cooldowns don't fit, they don't fit because they're just too gratuitous. And I go back to thinking about playing Final Fantasy 11, and I'm about to say some words to you that are going to sound like just gaming from a different human brain in terms of award delayed gratification. But every class has a special ability that was on a 2-hour timer.
Oh my god.
It was your 2-hour.
Oh my god.
Correct. Most of these, without exception, were just basically like crazy shits you would do in like every 2 hours. So I just remembered it's like every class has this awesome ability that can really help, but everyone that is joining to like say level up kind of doesn't want to use it because it's on a 2-hour timer. And it's also like, I don't want to use it with these schmucks because like later I might be leveling with better people or Japanese people who know how to play the game and I want to use it. I just bring this up to say that for me, when something has just an obscenely high cooldown mentally, like 2 hours, it effectively doesn't exist because I will psych myself out of using it every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to also add a mental stress element to the 2-hour cooldown issue in Final Fantasy 11, which is that when you die, you will lose experience and can de-level. So now what happens when you wiped and someone didn't pop their 2-hour?
You're mad. You hate them.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, isn't it funny? I think about this game I played and how actively evil it was. And like how it's just like it couldn't exist now because it has to be totally frictionless.
Yeah, every time I've heard someone talk about playing an MMO and like, oh, I had so much fun playing this, I go, oh, maybe I regret never getting into any of these games? And then they talk about the actual experience that they had playing the game, and I say, oh fuck, I'm glad I didn't play that.
It's just, you know how you played F-Zero? It's just that, but you were also chatting to people while playing WoW and drinking Mountain Dew. It's like this. It's the same sort of like tunnel vision.
Mm-hmm.
You're not missing much.
Okay. I will also say this about cooldowns. This is what I thought about this, and it pushing me to put it closer to B. Here's why. I played that God of War remake where it becomes prestige TV about having sons and being a father.
It's a sad dad game. I really did not know. That's really fun.
Yeah, didn't you? All the memes are him going boy at his boy. But you know, it's a perfect example, and it's used often in this way of like modern game design trends. And one of the things that it has is that fucking like 4% resistance to poison type of shit, where it's just like, this is the worst game design. It's not that
unable
bad
to perceive this in like a fun way.
Exactly. It's not that bad, but one of the stats that you can get is cooldown reduction. And so like you can build your guy to max cooldown reduction. You have two big special moves. You can choose which one you want. One is like sort of a light special move. One's a heavy special move. You understand. They're better than your normal moves. You want to use them as often as possible. But they're on cooldown. And so it's like, oh, if I use my cooldown reduction stat, then it is imperceptible. I bet some speedrunner or high level player will be like, actually, when you do 5 cycles of your special moves with the cooldown reduction speed, that's the amount of time that it would have taken you to do 4. So that's a free 5th one. It's like, okay, but
well, I miss one of them anyway.
Yeah, like,
so
I don't have my watch out. Okay, like it doesn't feel good. The whole point of the game is to make me feel good, especially in a big character action game where the point is to be the badass guy and kill everyone. So if it don't feel good, I don't care. So I'm putting it in B. That's what I'm saying.
I want to solidify why it can't be A.
Okay, gimme.
The evil pay money to build this faster is an evil that is ultimately rooted in cooldowns.
Dude.
Like this is just the devil getting a hold of something that was at one point neutral.
I didn't even think of that. Oh my god, that's so
made worse
evil.
Is it often shows up with premium currency such as gems, which is further defiling something that is beautiful.
You're supposed to get gems by walking into them. Money does not
they go
enter.
into you.
Yes. Oh my God. Okay. I did not. Yes. Cooldowns must be B because they are so easily used for evil. Oh, that's so disgusting. I didn't even realize, but yes, that's exactly
it. Doesn't register as the same thing because it's that evil, but it has the same ancestor. Yes.
Oh, I hate that. Okay. So B for cooldowns. The next one is going to be number 107 on the list, which is, oh my God, roguelikes. The mechanic is being a roguelike, which is to say a game where you have a new run every time you start from zero and there's randomly generated
Okay, I'll put this
challenges.
at C or D. I'll put this at C or D, and here's fucking why. It's just like, this is, I live in the monkey paw version of the gaming environment, which is like, I started to really like roguelikes, and now it's just like, that's all there fucking is. Everything is just roguelikes.
Well, that's not true. It's just that you refuse to play a game with like a story, so you only play games that have play sessions that are 20 minutes or less, which
will remain to be the only ones when there's no video game studios, and the only games that can be made are these sort of like these, like, it's not a slot machine, but like,
there's not
it's
not
like
a slot
the slot
machine.
machine's kissing cousin.
Yes. There's some slot machine in there. It's the randomness mitigation genre, and getting good at the game means getting good at mitigating randomness. But also, like a slot machine, sometimes you get fucking 777 and you just become God, and you go, oh my god, I won.
I will put it at C on the basis that it can really truly just be crammed into anything. Like, the formula for this is so obvious. Like, we were there well before Balatro, but the games after Balatro, which were literally like, we're doing Balatro with backgammon,
Yeah,
doing Balatro with Scrabble. It's just to say, I'm neutral on it as a concept. A roguelike as like a feature does nothing for me one way or the other. I am inclined to play a game like that, but because it gets jammed into everything now, it's a 0 for me. Like, it's not bad, but I'm not like drooling at the concepts to play like Atomic Crops, because I've played Atomic Crops and there has now been 9 years of Harvest Moon plus genre games.
I see. I mean, because if I were transported back to college time when Binding of Isaac was my game of choice and it was novel, that the fact that the game was like this was like like I had to explain it to people. I couldn't just say like, oh, this new game is really cool, it's a roguelike. I had to be like, okay,
when you die, it's over, and they're, oh, you mean like what? Like, yeah.
And but when you start over, like the map is different, and you're gonna get different items. They're not in the same place. Like, what do you mean? It looks like Zelda. In Zelda, the items are in the same place every time. It's like, well, it's not. Like, it's different. It's a roguelike.
This guy's crying.
But yeah, I'm thinking about Cult of the Lamb, which was a good game that I enjoyed a lot. It had a great presentation. I liked having my little cult. I liked being a little lamb. But that really did feel like the roguelike was just like the second half of the game could be anything. And we just decided to make it. I mean, case in point, Ball X Pit is basically just Cult of the Lamb, where you have your town.
You zoom out a bit. You remove your body, and you're just a god at a pinball machine.
Yeah, and it's just like that. The pinball machine part is just the second half of the game, where you build your little town and then you gotta dig for material. And Cult of the Lamb used a roguelike for that, and Ball X Pit uses pinball, pachinko, doodly-doos. And that is an example of like the roguelike just becoming a thing you can shove into stuff.
I feel about it the same way you feel about like a card in like Dominion that's like draw one card, discard one card. It's like, it's never something that you regret grabbing. It's like, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's not going to hold everything together on its own, but it's fine.
Mm-hmm. I think you're undervaluing, especially for you. I mean, because I'm agreeing with all of these things you're saying, but I think you're undervaluing for you, for your purposes as a gamer. Roguelikes do mean there's lots of games that have 20-minute play sessions where you start it, have a full experience, and can put it down with nothing left to finish in 20 minutes, which is your desired thing.
20 minutes of all those things, and the most important output is that I then can be like, I just had this insane run. I'm now going to text you all the details. Okay, so I got this, and it's like, I don't even play this game, but that sounds fun, Joe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's
okay. I just wanted to make it clear that even though I am like the roguelike dad, I am not an uncritical slop enjoyer. I'm aware of my weaknesses. Do you understand me?
Mm-hmm. And I think perhaps what is important here is that the roguelike is not the critical thing. The roguelike is like you know what it is? You know what it fucking is, Joe? I actually discovered the incredible metaphor. If you were known as the guy who loves paintings, you go to the art museum all the time, you're always talking about your favorite paintings, and someone was like, Joe must love canvas. No. Canvas is good to have.
Yeah,
but
it's the medium that gets me the thing I want, which is 20-minute game sessions with random elements and repeatable ways and a wiki. So I would put it at a B or a C. I'm inclined to go B after you sort of reassured me that I'm not missing my own biases here.
Yeah, I'm going to put it at a B because that's kind of where I wanted to put it. And I'm glad that we're in agreement. Next one, I'm not going to randomize because I think it is very funny to do these two right in a row. After we have ranked roguelikes, we now must rank roguelites. Roguelites. So as far as I'm understanding, the difference between a roguelike and a roguelite is that a roguelite has like permanent progression that exists outside of the run.
Yes, I think the other distinction with a roguelike, like an actual what it is it has to be the you move, everybody moves movement. It's actually turn-based. Whereas something
what?
like
I'd never heard of that in my life.
Like the game Rogue, a roguelike in its like most concrete version of the term is supposed to be like the mystery dungeon type games. It's the games where you move
when I move,
the enemies move, that sort of
like
thing.
That.
And then at the action roguelike, like this is the thing. It's who fucking cares this distinction? There should be one word, and you should be able to tell based on context. Because like in Chinese, every word has like 11 tones. We can figure this shit out.
I'm so pissed learning about this when I move, you move just like that bullshit. Because I'm mad because I don't understand life. Like I thought that like when I think of roguelike, and like what is the example of that? Like the go-to example of like roguelike. I'm always going to the Binding of Isaac. You know, it's a game that's totally random. It can and will just fuck you. There are no guardrails in place in the algorithm creating the world to ensure that like you can do all the things. Like every floor has an item room that has an item that's this is how you get stronger, but it's always locked and you need a key to get in. So I must just need to find the key. No, sometimes the game doesn't roll any keys and you're just like, I am fucking required to leave this floor without getting an item. Oh my God, I'm fucked. And like, I think that's very funny. And you don't get stronger. There's no like, you know, like you got 100 Isaac points on this run. You can use them to level up your shot speed. No, you're the same always. But now you're telling me that isn't even a roguelike?
So here's how we're going to fix this and also land on a ranking. This is also going to be B. It's going to be B, which is the same as the last one, which was rogue-like. And the reason is they're the same words. We're smushing them together. It doesn't fucking matter anymore. It just means a loopy game. We're doing it, Tom. From now on, it means a loopy game.
A loopy game. Okay. Well, I'm happy with that. But then if that's going to be how we do it, then I'm going to add on the fly. I'm pulling an audible. And now we must rank a new mechanic to the list, which is upgrades that persist between runs, which is to say exactly what I'm talking about. Like Dead Cells had this where it was like, yo, you got 15 Isaac points because you got to this level in the roguelike run. Do you want to upgrade your max health? I think that upgrades that persist between runs are a poisoned chalice. It seems really good. It seems really fun. It seems like every run matters. How cool. I can feel myself getting stronger. However,
fool, there's straight up runs you can't win. It's not because you suck, but you do suck, but it's also you suck and you have no health.
Yes, it to me has two poison pitfalls. One is that, which is that you start off not able to win. Now, this isn't always true. I mean, if you look on YouTube, you will find millions of examples of people beating Hades, a game that has upgrades that persist between runs, on the first run. If you are really good at the dodging, you can do it. You just can't. But there are games where that is not the case, and that fucking sucks. But the other thing is that you really have to make sure your core game is great when you do this, because you could fall into the other poison pitfall, which is I've gotten all of the upgrades. The game is over now. What am I playing for?
Yes. I think this is a related vector. It's part of the same problem. Tell me if you agree. The persistent upgrade thing has caused me to have this problem, which is just like, I'm going to kind of play sloppy because I'm actually just grinding on a talent tree and I'm just going to get better. Yes. Which is to say, it just invites a lot of bad habits. I tried playing Rogue Legacy 2 shortly after it had been in early access for a little bit, but it was like that. I was just like, I needed to just do progression, and I was just like, I'm gonna do some platforming, and guess what, I'm gonna fucking bump into some shit, because what actually matters is I start the loop again sooner, not so much that I am like really accurate with this. And I know that's a personal choice on my part, but like, if you remove that stuff, you're only left with what's in front of you, and you actually have to like, okay, I gotta dodge though, like for real.
Yes, I see the reasoning why you would put this in, which is, it can be really tough and punishing to a gamer if they're doing a bunch of runs and they just keep losing because they're new to the game. They're not good at it yet. And it's just like, this is just the game where I lose. This is just the fucking like losing simulator. I'm not having fun. And it's like, what can we do to give them a little consolation prize? I know. Let's give them Isaac points based on how well they did, and then they can use it on something that makes them a little stronger. So it's a little reward, and it's a implicit promise that, like, don't worry, it won't always be like this. And I get that. However, it's really, really easy to make the fun part of the game be that. Like, what am I playing the game to get? You play every game to get a little fucking treat from your brain. Something in the game is going to make your brain give you a special little treat. And it's so easy for the treat to come from, I got my upgrade versus I won the game.
Can I restate this another way?
You sure can.
It's not really hard for me to kind of get into a talent tree. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Saying like it's a mental fidget. Like throwing it in there is always going to give me something, but it's not like inherently like good. I don't know. Hold on.
You can't have Doritos for dinner.
Yeah, you can't have Doritos for dinner. You know what it is? It's obvious when it's acting as filler and when it's all filler, because you just feel it in the loop.
Yeah. So permanent upgrades that persist between roguelike runs. I'm thinking we're looking for a C or D here. D, I'm thinking only because, as you say, it is very easy for these to become filler that dilutes the point of the game, and or is a crutch for a game that does not actually have that engaging of a core loop. But it still can be really good. It's still gonna, I mean, like I said, Hades is a counterexample. You can get to the point where there's nothing left to unlock in that game, and it's still fun to do.
I will vote C on the basis that, yes, what you're saying is it can be pointless filler. It can be after every time you complete a run, you get 3% more poison resistance, just stuff that is not like grounded in tangible feeling stuff. That said, the act of selecting that 3% more poison feels pretty good. I give that a C. I'd give that a C. I will never regret having to do that. I will say this progression system's kind of nothing, but it's like popcorn.
Yeah. It feels like, yeah. It's like, this is an empty hit of brain juice. I know that it didn't really earn this, but I still got a hit of brain juice.
Yes.
I want to point out as an example, like Vampire Survivors was a big on this. Like, it was really fun to discover the items. It's really fun to get all of the upgrades and get more and more strong. And I don't know, maybe since I've last played it, they've added a lot more content. I wouldn't know.
There's like 100 expansions, I guess.
Well, maybe this is no longer accurate. But when I was playing it, I got to the point where I had unlocked all of the persistent upgrades that persist between the roguelike runs. And it was like, well, especially in fucking Vampire Survivors, a game where you don't play the game. And especially now that I know what items are good and in what order, why would I play the game? I had the same sort of thought that I have about like when people were saying about AI, like you can make any movie you want. And it's like, if I can imagine the movie enough to write a prompt, I don't need to watch it. I already imagined it. And the same sort of thing. It's like, if I have all the upgrades and I know what items make me win, I don't need to do it.
I'm going to close my eyes and imagine picking those items. Now, this is just as fun, and it requires no electricity.
Yeah. I mean, Vampire Survivors, it has the extra treats of all the numbers popping up, so there's just a constant wave of visual noise that is numbers based, and also
and the treasure chest.
The treasure chest, yeah.
Oh, my homies. Oh, the treasure chest.
So I'm not saying Vampire Survivors is a bad game. I'm just saying that's why this is a C. And I think with that, we're going to be done for this week. This was a classic Sickos episode. Just a slam dunk right in the basket.
Look, I need you to understand that roguelike and roguelite, listener, are the same thing. It's just imagine it's not clear that the person is saying it. They might have a lisp. You're not going to be like, are you saying it weird? Just assume it's the same thing. It doesn't matter. And it means runs. And
if someone is trying to get in your face, if some like CRPG freak is like, actually, this is an incredibly misused term, I would actually wager that none of these so-called roguelike fans have actually played Rogue. They think that these other games have improved so much on it, when in fact Rogue stands alone at the top still.
You get to hit that guy with the devil lance. Like, you fucking get the devil lance someone who says that.
That is fucking Noel from Swan Boy. You get to kill that guy. Everyone claps when you do it. Anyway, that's all the time we have for Anime Sickos. Our rankings this week have been being able to pet the dog at C, roguelikes at B, roguelites at B, permanent upgrades that persist between roguelike runs at C, and cooldowns at B. Real C and B is where it's at. I mean, that's going to be
nothing
most things. That's the bell curve. Isn't it?
Yeah, just like nothing that really instilled hatred or amazement.
Yeah, and that's
again
fine.
The bell curve, I guess. Yeah,
hell yeah. Well, maybe next time we'll get something that really fucking whips or really fucking sucks. But until then, I've been Tom, an Anime Sicko.
I've been Joe, an Anime Sicko.
We'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you for listening to Anime Sickos. I've been Tom, a sicko. You can follow me on Blue Sky at Tom Harrison. Joe was also a sicko. You can follow him on Blue Sky at Sharia Uncle. You can follow Anime Sickos on Blue Sky at Anime Sickos, or email us at animesickos@gmail.com. You can give us money at patreon.com/Anime Sickos if you want. Please leave us a review or something. I don't know. Tell a friend. Anyway, until next time, bye.